Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. I'm coming to you guys with a bare face because I'm here to do a first impressions video of the Rihanna Fenty Beauty collection. I did finally go to Sephora, so I have some goodies. Now, I did not get the entire collection, so if you're interested in that, then go ahead and just keep watching. So let's dig in. Now, the reason why I did go ahead and buy both the primer and the foundation is because I wanted to get the true effect of how great the foundation is. The first thing I got is this beautiful baby here, and this is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Primer. Now, I have super duper dry skin, so I'm really wondering how this is going to work for me. But I just took a few pumps in my hand, and I'm going to just put it in my problem areas, which is right here and on my forehead, because that is where I get oily. It has like a cologne like smell to it, but it's very light, and already I can feel the tackiness on the skin, which is awesome because that means that your foundation will last a long time. Now, I didn't really put it all the way on my face because, like I said already, I have super duper dry skin, and I would hate for this foundation to look dry and cakey on me because the primer is too thick or something. But so far it feels really good. It doesn't have like a watery feel to it. It's more so like a moisturizer that's super duper tacky. So I do like the feeling of it so far, and it does make my skin feel really soft. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Longwear Foundation. Now, I am in the shade 370. Now, this shade is a little bit off, but it was the closest to my actual skin tone. If you guys notice, I'm really light right here, but then I'm really dark around the face. So I just thought this would be cool to get. Hopefully it is a match, or if not, you know it's going back. It does say on the bottle to shake well, so I'm going to go ahead and shake it up. And I'm going to apply it as I would any other foundation. I'm going to use my actual beauty sponge. I know that Rihanna came out with her own beauty sponge, but I was like, I'm going to stick to something that I know works for me. So I'm going to just take a few pumps of this on the back of my hand. And it does have a watery consistency to it. I did watch that it actually dries fast. So far, I feel like it's good. Well, I will say it's very medium coverage. You do not get a full coverage application. I can kind of see some of my imperfections peeking through. Oh, this foundation dries super fast. So if I were you, if I was putting on this foundation, I would definitely work in sections. I wouldn't just kind of dab. I work in sections because it dries. Like, this part of my face feels really dry. I don't know how that looks on camera, so I might be putting on a little much, but I like, you guys know I like a full coverage bead. I love the way the foundation smells. It smells like, it has a cologne vibe to it. I wish I would have gone just a tad bit darker because I feel like I'm a little ashy, but it's okay. I can show you guys how to fix that. I wonder what it'll look like if I actually use a brush instead. Now, you always want to blend your foundation down to the neck, always. Simply because you never want to be that person that looks like you have on a mask. And though it is, I feel like this foundation is exactly what it says. It says a soft matte. I do feel like my face is really matte. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I didn't buy the matchsticks from the collection because I have super duper dry skin, and the matchsticks, when I swatched them at the store, they just seem extremely dry, and I didn't want to waste my money on product that I know I wouldn't use. And so when I have issues with foundation, whether it be I get a tan or I'm too dark, because I think this foundation would work for me in the winter, I go ahead in with a darker concealer, and I'm going to use the NYX Sculpt and Highlight Duo, and this is in the shade Cinnamon Peach, I think. Yeah, Cinnamon Peach. And I really like this side here because I have a red undertone, and it really helps. It really just complements my skin so well. So what I'll do is actually use the doofah that comes with it, and I'll just go ahead and mark around my face just to kind of, you know, blend this foundation in a little bit. And it also, you know, snatch my face because, you know, your girl has been eating good. So as you can see, I'm just using my L'Oreal blending sponge, and I'm just going to go ahead and blend that out. Just to kind of blend it out. This is the Sigma Beauty F23 contour brush. Yes, contouring brush. And I think it works amazing. And you just want to work it into the skin. That's what I'm doing here. So I'm just working overtime over here to try to get this to blend, because once that foundation dries, guys, listen. I'm going to go ahead and just spray my face with my Milani Make It Dewy. Just to make my face a little bit more not so dry, so that I can finish blending out this contour. You see? Yeah, I feel better about it. I don't know, y'all. The Rihanna foundation is not dry skin girl friendly. So far, I feel extremely dry. I don't know, it's weird. But I just feel like, can she please come out with a foundation that's for girls who have dry skin? And with her skin looking so dewy, you would have thought she would have came out with something dewy. But it's okay, you know, because I feel like the range is beautiful. So what I'm doing is just kind of going through and blending out any harsh lines. But as you can see, my face now matches my actual neck and my actual body, because I went ahead and contoured with that. And this is so affordable. I do get this from Ulta, your local Walmart, any drugstore has these, and I absolutely love NYX. It's like probably one of my favorite brands, and one of my, you know, brands I always recommend for beginners especially. But now we have to, you know, move on. Next new product that I'm going to be using is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. I hate buying makeup on the internet because a lot of times you never get the right shade. It's like, how can I pick out concealer and all that on the internet? It's really overwhelming. But I've been loving the coverage of it lately, so I've kind of been mixing these. So I'll take my LA Girl Pro Conceal. You guys know this is like my holy grail concealer, with my ColourPop No Filter, and this is in the shade, let me see the shade, Golden 40. It's really too light for me, but the coverage is like really good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend that in to see how it looks with the foundation. But I'm going to blend for my life. Oh, it's really bright. You guys know I'm wrong for this. All right, just to tone it down just a little bit, I'm gonna go back in with my Rihanna, take a little bit of it and just kind of add it to that concealer. Oh, I should have blended it out. This is just to kind of bring it all back together. That's better. See the difference? Super cool, super light. And you guys, blend for your life. Like, take your time to blend. You never have to rush. Blending is like your best friend. I'm just going in back and forth between, just to make sure everything is nice and blended. So far, so good. I'm really liking how flawless the foundation covers. So far, so good. I almost feel like this foundation is so dry that I kind of don't want to set my face. But knowing me, it just doesn't feel right not to set. So I'm going to take my Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I'm going to set my under eyes just a tad bit with my beauty blender. And I'm just going to go ahead and set my under eyes, just because I do have a lot of creasing and I just don't want it to be looking crazy. But this foundation is super dry. I also put a little bit on my eyes because I'm going to use some Fenty on my lids and just blend it out. I don't even let it sit because I already know how my skin reacts to stuff like this. And I hurry up and pick up, you know, just a fluffy brush, and I'll go in with my Sephora Microsmooth powder. And this is like my favorite powder. It's in the shade Tan. This is the foundation with a cream contour as well as powder under the eyes, concealer, and the actual foundation. And I don't think it's too shabby. You know, I'm feeling a little spicy. I'm gonna go in and bronze up the skin a little bit more with my Black Radiance pressed powder in the shade Cafe. You guys know, listen, no, this is Bronze Glow. You guys know, look at this. I've hit pan, and that's because I'm not gonna stop using something that I absolutely love, and it's this powder. It's like so pretty, and it's super duper affordable. and I just like to use it to kind of, you know, add a little bit of warmth to the skin. I like to look really warm. Moving on, I'm going to add some blush. For blush, I'm going to add my NARS Orgasm. Blush up these cheeks a little bit. I just like this because you see how it adds that beautiful sheen. Look at that. To the face. I love it because it's not too overpowering. You know, I hate wearing blush that's too overpowering. But this, you can go in for days and you'll just look like you're glowing. It's like a blush popper, you know what I mean? Like, it makes your blush like super lit for no reason. You see that? Now I'm going to go through all the products, let you guys know how I feel about them, good and bad. And the first thing I'm going to start with is the Pro Filt'r primer. Now, I have a gripe about this primer, and that is that I have super duper dry skin, and I felt like when I used this, it actually made my skin really, really dry. Now, as you guys seen throughout the video, I kind of had to spray my face with a little bit of fixing spray just to make me a little bit more hydrated. So if you have dry skin, I do recommend that you use a super heavy duty moisturizer underneath this primer. I do feel like it does make your skin soft, however, and it does blend out those areas, especially around here. I have a lot of pores. This filled in my pores really, really nicely. I do like that it doesn't have a silicone base to it, so it doesn't feel really filmy. It actually feels really moisturizing, so I did appreciate that. But again, if you have dry skin, I do suggest you use a heavy duty moisturizer and a little bit of this. You do not need a lot of this to complete your look. I promise. This will probably last you forever if you just use a couple of dabs. I kind of use a little bit too much, and that's probably why I experience some dryness. But overall, I feel like my makeup is going to last all day long. The next thing I want to talk about is the actual foundation, which is my favorite out of the collection so far. Now, I love the fact that they came out with 40 different shades. I feel like 40 different shades means that 40 different women, 40 different skin tones have the ability to rock this foundation. Now, I love that about Rihanna. I feel like she was so inclusive with this line. And not only that, I feel like when I was going to the store, the most of the shades that were out of stock were the deeper tones and a lot of the red undertones and golden undertones that other brands neglect completely. So I was really excited to see that brand really open eyes for other brands to be like, look, we need to add more shades to our ranges so that we can attract more people. And Rihanna was just a pioneer in doing that, which is so amazing to me. There are other big brands that do sell a bunch of different shades in foundation, but they aren't necessarily on the, you know, cheap end. They're usually super duper expensive. So kudos to Rihanna for that. Now, I am in the shade 370. I do feel like I could have went a shade down, but as you can see in the video, it did end up working well for my skin tone, and it actually dries down. So when I first applied the foundation, it seemed like it was too light, but once it dried, I think it actually matches my skin very, very well. So that's probably why I was matched as a 370. So that's really exciting. So if you haven't already, go ahead and grab the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r foundation. I think it's amazing despite me having dry skin. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Give it a big thumbs up for not only me, but for Rihanna and Fenty Beauty. But if there's not anything else, I just want to say thank you for being here, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Mwah.